Yesterday we were talking about the outer world and the inner world. Most of the world is caught up in the outer world. When we talk about the inner world, it is the relationship between the Jiva and the Supreme Lord. Like there's a relationship between Arjuna and Krishna, or Brahma and Lord Vishnu, or Devahuti and Lord Kapila. So you will see that that type of loving relationship is something that has to be gradually cultivated and blossomed over a period of time. Just like you get a seed, it can be grown to a plant, into a tree, and then the tree will produce a fruit. Or a small toddler child eventually grows in education to become a, B.Tech, M.Tech, PhD, and then becomes a accomplished leader in society. Or someone who was a simple toddler in a village or a town, they go on to become a great social welfare worker or a community leader, giving great contribution to the whole world. So these are all things which don't happen overnight. Like we say, Rome was not built in a day. It happens gradually over a period of time, but one has to make sure that, one chooses the right association and one invests the right amount of energy, time. And the most important thing that builds these things is the morning time, the chanting time. The chanting is a prayer to the Lord to help us invest in that eternal loving relationship. Once upon a time, there was a dung roller. Dung roller? Dung roller actually takes small portions of the stool and rotates it. Like that, it rotates and makes it round and keeps round. They basically takes a big quantity of stool and makes it into small round, just like you would make for chapati, like that. As if it's a very important work. He was doing that. And honeybee, the bumblebee who drinks honey from the lotus, he saw the dung roller doing this nasty work, nasty smelling work. He said, "What are you doing here? Chi. Wash your hands and legs and come with me, I'll take you to another place." So he took the dung roller to a lotus and then took him into the lotus. And for the first time, the dung roller got the fragrance of lotus and the tasty honey also. He was said, "Wow, I have never eaten anything like this. All I have associated with is only stool and urine, that's all." He thanked the bumblebee very much. And the bumblebee flew away. Then the dung roller slept in the lotus. And the lotus was later on plucked by one Rajakumari, who would come and take the lotuses from the lotus pond and offer it to Lord Krishna. So she went and offered it at the lotus feet of Krishna. So when dung roller woke up, he came out and he saw the beautiful face of Lord Krishna. He was greatly blessed. "Oh, this is Srimati Radharani, Chandra." He got to see. This is another new excitement for him. Earlier he only got honey and fragrance. Now he is getting to see the Lord. And later on, the next day, when the lotus flower dried up, so she took it and put it in the Ganges river. Then he got associated with Ganges and all his sinful actions were washed away. So later on, this dung roller told the honeybee, "Just by one moment of your association, I got 3 great advantages. I could taste the honey and fragrance of lotus. I could get to see Lord Krishna eye to eye. And I also got to bathe in the holy Ganges." So this is due to the effect of good association. Yeah. So otherwise, without that good association, the dung roller will be all the time rotating the stool only. He doesn't know anything else in life to do. Same thing, nasty thing he keeps doing like that. So as conditioned souls, we are preoccupied with useless activities in this world, which are all pain-producing. Pain-producing for ourselves also and others also. But when we understand that I have to develop this love of God, Krishna says that in 7th chapter, 1st verse, the goal of life is not detachment. Most people teach Bhagavad Gita is meant for detachment. Krishna says Bhagavad Gita is for attachment. He says, really? What attachment? He says, "Maya saktamanah partha yogam yunjanmadashrayah asamshayam samagram mam yata jnasasi tat shrunu." He's saying, "Listen from me, Arjun. I will share some knowledge with you about me. knowing which your attachment for me will be increased, he says. So we need to have attachment, but attachment not to the petty, perishable commodities of the world like the dung rollers attachments. And we need attachment to the Supreme Lord, who is the source of all existence, who is the embodiment of all love, one who is most worshipable and most worthy to be glorified, most worthy to be made friendship with and taken shelter of. That is the type of Supreme Lord Krishna is. So, in the Gita he explains, I am the source of everything, I am the essence of everything, I am the very best of everything. So when we understand these things very nicely, then wherever one turns around, one will see everything in relation to Krishna. That's what he himself says. Yomam pashyati sarvatra, sarvam chamai pashyati, tasyaham na pranashyami, satyamena pranashyati. Yomam pashyati sarvatra. Wherever my devotees turn around, they will see Jnani and devotee, both of them see Krishna in two different ways. Jnani sees the Lord's presence impersonally, whereas the devotee sees the Lord personally. Like Jnani sees Rasomapsa Kaunteya. He says, oh, that Supreme Brahman is a taste of water. He's thinking like that. It's Anna Brahma, Jala Brahma, like Ganga. He sees like that. But they think Brahman is impersonal, but a devotee thinks, oh, this taste of water, this taste of the juices is given by Krishna by his glance. Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. By glancing at the Prakriti, he has produced all these wonderful things for me. The devotee sees the Lord personally. In this way, devotee will never be lost, he says. So, one can invest in that relationship. Like when a girl gets married to a boy, on the day of marriage, the girl doesn't know much about the boy and he doesn't know much about the girl, isn't it? But after the marriage, when a girl is serving the husband, little by that service and by their mutual interaction, a type of affection develops. In 4 or 5 years, they become practically inseparable. They develop so much attachment within a short time. Similarly, when Krishna is served faithfully, over a period of time, that attraction and attachment will definitely develop, provided a devotee is faithfully executing the devotion service. But if a devotee is doing eyewash devotion service, but is keeping the heart in Maya, then that kind of attachment doesn't develop. Because imagine if a woman is married to a man, but she is not interested in him. She is having her own paramour. She is calling the paramour, going and meeting secretly, and she is just living with the husband. And then the attachment doesn't develop. So, what is our paramour? Our paramour is like a dung roller. For the dung roller, the paramour is tool. Similarly, for us, our attraction in this world is, we get stuck in the materialistic things of the world. And we are not able to uplift our vision to Krishna and Krishna-related things. So, therefore, one should do the duties in this world, and one shouldn't run away from the duties. But while doing the duties, one should not forget the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is development of prema. Ultimate goal is development of relationship with the Lord. Ultimate goal, just like you're making sandcastles in an ocean beach. That's all right for a while, But one evening you made a sandcastle, but then relationship with the ocean beach is nothing in relation to relationship with the parents for a child. So that relationship with the parents is a continuous thing in which a small portion of time is given for the making of sandcastles, isn't it? Similarly, the eternal relationship with Lord Krishna, sometimes the jiva forgets and turns his face away from Krishna. So the material world is like an ocean beach where we are making sandcastles. Somebody is an engineer sandcastle, somebody is a doctor sandcastle, somebody is a chartered accountant sandcastle. Everybody is doing something. But then when death comes, we have to dust off our hand and then go back with parents. Similarly, the super soul will call us, right now, wind up now, it's over now, time up. Now we have to quit the body now. Let's go to the next body now. I'll take you. So the super soul tells us we have to leave and go. So one should never forget the temporary nature of the material world. You read the 9th chapter, you will see, Krishna talks about, parallelly he will say, spiritual world, Mama Petya Kaunteya, Mama Petya Kaunteya Dukkale Mashashvatam Napnuvanti Mahatmanaha Samsiddhim Paramam Gataha Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna Mama Petya Kaunteya Punarjanmana Vidyate. See, parallelly he says, one who comes to me, those who are devotees will come back to me. Those who don't come back to me, they keep rotating in the cycle of birth and death. So, he says, in Brahma's lifespan, so many cycles of birth, death, all this happens for the living entity. Satyatrita Dwapara Kali, repeat it like again and again. So one should not waste one's human form of life. Instead, invest in this relationship. So early morning we get up, we chant the holy name, we read the sacred scriptures, we take darshan of the Lord, bow down to the Lord. Daytime we go out and do some services for the Lord. And keeping that, this is the most vital aspect of human life. To revive my forgotten, lost relationship with the Lord, besides doing my material duties to mother, father, family, friends, society, whatever is to be done, because we still have a material body. One may have to do those duties, but those duties are to be done side by side. But one should not forget the prime goal, which is to awaken that pure love, which is already there in the heart of the jiva. It just has to be revived by the chanting of the holy name and recitation of the Srimad Bhagavatam and entering of the services and with proper sadachar, behaving with the properly devotees. In this way, these processes are processes of growing in Krishna consciousness and coming to the point of ultimately attaining the lotus feet of the Lord and eternal service. He said, the Lord says, Kripaya tava pada pankaja stadaduli sadrusham vichintaya. Please accept me as one of the millions of devotees in your abode and engage me in your eternal loving service. Harinam Prabhu ki. Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are just like the Satyrs, ocean of mercy, full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnava vrindaki, Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki, Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki.